Mazal Tov for the new house. The new house, one of the more important things is to start off correctly. That's what we learned in the Zohar, in Chanukat HaBayit. It says over here that the Shekhinah is Shorah. The Shekhinah lies on the house when it starts off correctly. And the Zohar says, I read the translation over here of the Zohar, Kasher matchil livnot, when you start building a house, you start living, dwelling in a house, the beginning, צריך להזכיר בפיו של עבודת הקדוש ברוך הוא בונה. He's doing so לשם שמיים. Because if he's not doing so, it's lacking the kedusha. מפני שכתוב הווה בונה ביתו בלא צדק. ואז סייעתא דשמיא שורה עליו. Then the kedusha lies on the house. והקדוש ברוך הוא מזמן עליו קדושה וקורא עליו שלום. I remember with that, that's what we did today. We say that it's L'Shem Shamayim, it's for Torah, it's for mitzvot. We are here for Hashem. We're not here for our own pleasures. And I remember a story about Ishmael. Today is very popular to speak about Ishmael. The Pirkei Rabbi Eliezer tells us a story that Avraham Avinu went to visit Ishmael after he was kicked him out, and he went. Ishmael got married. Who's the first woman he made? Isha. Some say Ifa, some say Isha, and this is who Muhammad married, Isha. He married that woman, and Avraham Avinu went to visit him. He went all the way to visit Ishmael. When he got to Ishmael's house, he knocked on the door, and Ifa, opened for him the door. He said to her, Ishmael is home? She said, no, he's away. He said, okay, I'm very thirsty, I'm hungry, you have something to eat, you have something to drink? She said, I don't have any bread, I don't have any drinks. He told her, okay, no problem. Tell Ishmael when he comes back, an old man came from Eretz Canaan, and he told, and I have a message from him, the foundations of the house are not good. Mean to say, she didn't understand. It means to say that your wife over here, which is the foundations of the house, the foundations is meant to be chesed, kedusha, good things, is not good. When Ishmael came back, she told him, the old man came from Eretz Canaan, right away understood that that's his father Avraham. And she told him the foundations of the house is no good. Tala. He divorced her. He told her, yalla, bara, and khalas. Then he remarried. He remarried Fatma. This is what the Pirkei Rabbi Eliezer said. Fatma was the daughter of Muhammad, by the way. Those are the names they get from there. He married Fatma. Then, after a few years, Avraham Avinu comes to visit again. And she says Ishmael is not home. He tells her, okay, something to eat, something to drink. She gives him, no problem. His bread, his water. So he told her, okay, tell Ishmael the foundations now are good. So lichora, it sounds like Ishmael over here made a good house. What's going on? So we need to know a few things. First of all, we said right before that the foundations, the beginning is the most important. If your beginning is not good, even though later on you do some good things, it's too late already. From the beginning, the Zohar tells us over here, it has to be good. If it's not good, then later on, it's very, very hard to fix that thing. Secondly, you need to know that the mentality by Yishmaelim is that when you come to their house, they'll give you everything. They'll take out the entire kitchen and give it to you. But as soon as you put your food outside, they'll stab you. That's the way it is. That's the mentality. And you need to know, when he came into the house, so fine, she gave him everything. But by us, it's all, Baruch atah bevoecha, Baruch atah betzetecha, Baruch atah ba'ir, Baruch atah basadeh. It's all over. We are here to give, to do. And this is what the Baal HaBayit over here, he does for everybody. He doesn't leave it for his own house. The Rambam tells us that when Yom Tov comes around and a person closes his gates and he just gives for his own family, so he's cursed. The idea of Yom Tov is to bring in people, to give others, to do, if you can bring guests, give others before Yom Tov, that they make sure that they would have. Another idea is that when Ishmael came the first time and he understood that Avraham Avinu gave him that hint, he knew that in the future maybe Avraham Avinu would come to visit again and say the same thing. So he warned his second wife, be careful, Dir Balek, anybody else that comes, you don't have to give them anything. But if you see an old man that comes from Eretz Canaan, Dir Balek, you have to give him everything. Make sure, because that's my father. So that's how she knew. That's how you deal with Yishmaelim. You have to know. The first time you can trick them. Second time already, they learn a lesson. You have to keep on manipulating, as Yaakov Avinu taught us, Im ish naval, naval. If there's somebody who's tricky, you have to be tricky together with him. But let's talk a little bit about something that happened yesterday, a couple of days ago. Sky News interviewed the Israeli spokesman, and she asked him, to his surprise, he was taken by surprise, she asked him, how do you give for 50 hostages 150 terrorists, subhumans that were convicted, but the idea was, how do you give 3 for 1? What? Palestinian lives are less important than the Jews? So he went to say, well, you're accusing us for the wrong thing. That's the deal that they're asking. But the truth of the matter is they set the price, 3 for 1. They understand that they are worthless. And when Gilad Shalit was released, they gave over 1,000 terrorists with blood on their hands. So this is what it is, and this we learn from our parasha. Our parasha, when Yaakov Avinu wants to marry Rachel, so Lavan tells him, yes, you want to marry, bitna flus, bitna, you have to work, it's not free, 7 years, and then he made him work another 7 years. Ve'yu be'enei Yaakov ke'yamim achadim. The Sforno and the Chizkuni says, why ke'yamim achadim? Because the Rachel was so important, Leah was so important that the price is nothing. Although he waited for them so much, says the Chizkuni, he waited so much, he wanted to marry them, it was long for him, but the price was very little. When you talk about a Jewish soul, any price is too little. The only reason that it's high today is because you let go of terrorists that are risks, that are ticking bombs. That's the only problem. But otherwise, take everything. Take money and take whatever you want. Just not something risky. But when you know that a Jewish soul is put on a line, it's priceless. And of course, that one person from us is priceless, and not 3 terrorists, and not 1,000 and something as Gilad Shalit. It's endless. It's without a price. And the terrorists, they know that, and because of that, they charge and they go up in price. They have they know that something Jewish, a Jewish soul, is so precious, is so important, is so expensive that any price would not fit the amount that you have to pay for such a person. So Be'ezrat Hashem, we give a baracha over here that the house should be with the right foundations of Torah, mitzvot, kedusha, that it should be also coming out, not only here, that the Torah and the mitzvot, that the chesed that you do should be coming out and sparkling the entire world and be Be'ezrat Hashem Or LaGoyim, because all that we're doing is Hashem Shamayim v'Akadosh Baruch Hu.